Are ready.
Okay.
This is a nice place you got here, Roman.
Yeah, I would say it's an upgrade from the undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location.
Yeah,
money's good.
I would say. Already?
Of course.
All right.
The money's good, Roman. The money's
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Grappling with the Gilmans. I'm Josh. Somebody take it, Max.
Oh, it's my
Oh, we'll go in order. Who are you this week?
Abdul the Butcher.
You're Abdul the Butcher. Funny, you don't look a thing like him. And you?
That's true.
I took a lot of
Him
surgery.
on the other hand, he looks a little like him.
We're going to get to him in a second. And you, son?
I'll be Max this week.
You'll be Max this year. And we are, am I allowed to say where we are?
Yeah, of course.
We are in Roman's home studio in beautiful Fishtown.
This is better than the
To talk about...
undisclosed location.
No,
This is
yeah,
a lot-
it's definitely an upgrade from the
We went
undisclosed
from
location.
the actual podcast studio
Yeah,
to the to the saloon for a little bit. Then we went back down to the employee lounge.
Right? We did a show
And
on
then-
the show. We did a show on the show floor, at
Oh,
least
yeah, then
one,
we
if
did
not
two shows on the show
the
floor.
show. Yeah, two on the
Then we
showroom
went to
floor.
our undisclosed location.
Right.
Which looks like a hostage situation.
It did.
And now we're at Roman's house.
Yes.
It's been up and down through the thick and
So
thin,
yes, we
you
are
know?
in Roman's home studio. Upgrade. And do you guys know what this is?
50.
Our 50th episode.
Yay!
Unbelievable.
Halfway to 100.
And
Oh yeah.
to celebrate that, let's get to the good news right away. John is back with us.
Yeah.
We are very happy to
John.
see John back with us.
Yeah.
It just was not the same doing this without him here.
And
So,
it's
John,
fun.
thank you for being here
And it's fun.
for all of your support through 50 episodes of our show. Unbelievable. What? There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good win. My
So-
favorite podcast, Grappling with the Good
Yep.
Ones.
Um,
At least it's
so
not as
yeah,
bad
50 episodes. It's unbelievable. Thank you everybody for all of the support.
as what Bomb John called you, which is gabbing with the Gibbons. So
Well, that
love
man
it.
got his job laid off too.
I love
so
it.
Everybody's been.
all right.
Damn.
We know well, let's just start off because we know, as I've said, everybody loves your hot takes. If anybody's got anything they want to address right off the top, go for it.
Me and Sam have something.
Here we go.
Okay.
God.
So do you know the new internet thing where it's the question of can 100 people take down one silverback gorilla?
yes,
Well, we posted a query. If you had to pick 10 wrestlers to take on this gorilla, which 10 wrestlers would it be?
How did this become a thing?
People are
Mr.
lazy.
Beast.
Mr. Beast is
is that
responsible
what
for this?
where it started?
Yes.
All right, wait,
he posted
before
a
we get-
video.
wait, hold on.
He posted a thing on, I think it was Facebook or whatever it's called.
Before we get too far into this, I have a question.
Versus
Yes, what?
100 people.
Before we get too far into this, I have to ask a question.
Yeah.
Is he going to pony up some ridiculous amount of money for volunteers to actually do this?
No, because if
I don't know how, because people could be killed
yeah, I don't know if you could. I don't know if
or grievously injured.
Okay, are we gonna
one
pick our
thing-
10?
I don't know if we could find a gorilla that's he's allowed to take.
Yeah.
and have a pin against
There are
men.
a lot of issues.
Yeah,
Also, what happens if the
I don't-
gorilla gets angry and starts to?
Right, yeah,
Actually
people could be
killing them.
losing arms and legs.
right.
No, or being killed.
Right,
And
that-
the third thing is what 100 people are crazy enough to do this. Besides, like a bunch of 100-year-old people that
Well,
want to take
you
him
know,
out.
his whole thing, no, you know, and he's been widely successful at it, is people will do crazy things for money.
I
It's
don't know
true.
how much you can
Is it
pay
like a
100
social
Yeah, although
experiment?
that might be
Like,
taken too far.
10
They let the guy rent out the Pyramid of Giza.
That's true. He
I
paid
know.
off the
Paul get
Egyptian
banned from
government
Egypt
to
too?
rent out the pyramids.
Okay, so let's start with this.
All right, go ahead.
Samuel, go
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm
Do your thing.
Number one is Abdul the Butcher.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Are we talking about these people in their state
Yeah, this is-
now
no, prime,
or
prime.
in their
This is
prime?
prime.
Okay, go for it.
Abdul the Butcher,
Abdullah, okay.
for obvious reasons. Brody
Would he
King.
have his fork?
No, this is just bare fisticuffs.
Okay, no fork. All right.
okay.
Brody-
I'll give what's his face? Brody King,
Brody King.
because he's big as hell. Powerhouse Hobbs, because he's big
Hobbs.
as hell.
Lesnar?
Braun Breaker, Lesnar. How many does that there?
I think
five,
that's like five.
4, 5. Let's just say 5. I'm gonna pick like a toss up of probably like something like small, but I don't want to
No.
like throw him to the fire.
No.
So I'm gonna pick like
No.
Dirty Dom. He think he could take him.
He'll come out of there without arms and legs.
No, but we'd throw him in as like the kind of like
Oh.
the distraction. So all the others can just like, come
The,
in there and get
the
him.
gorilla would be distracted
No,
by
Vikingo,
thrashing Dom.
Vikingo. Sorry, Vikingo. We sent him out there. He's smaller. He's easier to
Kingo,
get.
wow.
He's small.
Sorry,
That's
Vikingo.
six.
Sending that man to his death.
Yes. Six.
We
six.
like Vikingo.
6. Someone who would actually try and fight the gorilla. Nick Gage.
Well, he might be crazy enough.
Nick Gage is a sick man. He would
Oh,
fight
he
the
might
gorilla.
be crazy enough. All right.
That's 7. 8 is Darby Allin because he would try and kill the gorilla. Claudio Castagnoli's 8.
Claudio, yeah. You're
9 is Andre.
Andre the Giant.
I said that on the car ride
And
here.
10 is Taker.
The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Okay. You.
Oh wait, never mind.
I'm
Never
gonna
mind.
pass
Typhoon.
on this one.
Typhoon.
Typhoon.
Fair.
But not Earthquake.
No, actually, let's swatch out Vikingo for Earthquake.
Earthquake. I think that's well advised. All right. I'm not weighing in on this one, but if you want to, go ahead.
I was gonna go with Earthquake.
Earth.
Is Tugboat the same person?
No, they're different people.
Okay, Tugboat.
All right. Both natural disasters.
Andre.
Okay.
I'm gonna go toss out here Hornswoggle as the leprechaun person, as the leprechaun. He's just real nimble and little, and he'll go under the gorilla's legs.
Oh, he would just serve as a distraction.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I don't think the gorilla could grab me so tiny and it'll squirm out.
Oh, I think the gorilla would find a way.
Yeah, I do feel like the gorilla probably
Yeah.
will find a way.
All right.
No,
Go,
we'll
keep
cover him
going.
with
It's your
baby
list.
oil so he
It's
can't
your
get
list.
out. We'll cover him with baby oil so he'll slip out of the
Oh my!
Okay.
We can't have one show without a mention of
Oh
Diddy.
my
It's like-
gosh. All right. No, finish your
No,
list,
be
brother.
serious.
Finish
Well,
your
now
list.
Now it's like an
Let me
affiliation,
think.
like Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely.
Abby. All right.
Okay. Yeah, Nick Gage, that was mine because his, maybe, Darby. Those two are the only ones probably crazy enough to actually fight.
Okay.
Jimmy Lloyd would.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Lloyd would.
Jimmy Lee.
I could go somewhere, but I could say.
Yeah,
so.
don't. We know
Yeah.
your feelings on Jimmy Lloyd.
No,
Okay.
no, not Jimmy Lloyd. Wait, then, hold on. Did we?
And you need 2 more.
Anyone in WWE? No.
Braun Breaker?
Not Steiner.
Eh.
Brawny the Strowman.
Bronson Reed?
He.
Ooh.
Well, we're gonna get
I
to
love that
we're gonna
man
get to
so-
him soon.
Tweets or X or whatever it is.
Yeah, a bit. Kane.
Abyss?
Just think of like.
Knock off Mankind. Okay.
Actually,
Who-
I'll take Terry Funk because he's crazy.
He
He
was.
Grab tree bands to start beating the
He
gorilla.
was.
And
And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Oh my god, one more. AEW people, big meaty men. Come back to me.
Powerhouse
No, I need
Hobbs.
I need one big meaty man.
Archer.
Brian Cage? Bandito,
Brian Cage.
who's extremely strong.
He's not
Claudio?
not meaty enough.
Claudio.
Nick Camarado?
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee. That's a good one.
Keith, that's pretty good.
Okay.
You have 10 million.
I didn't think this was gonna come up today, but that's the beauty of this
Oh,
show.
you got 10?
You
I
truly
don't
never
have
know.
10, but I will give you this anecdote, right? Woody told me this.
Okay.
For the sake of this 100 men versus 1 gorilla argument, right?
Okay.
People were saying how crazy it was when they tested Rhea Ripley's grip strength, and it's about 160, right?
Okay.
Which is super high for a human being.
Sure. She's strong.
A gorilla's is touching about 14 to 1500.
Oh my God.
So just think about that.
Wow.
Yeah. But they all
The
jump
strength
in
of a really, really strong person compared to a literal gorilla.
That's a multiplier of
Okay.
about 10.
No, wait, no, I changed my list. Instead, I need to add Brock Lesnar somewhere in there.
Yeah, Brock should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about 100
On-
Brock? Wait, so 100 Brock. Well, the real question is, would 100 Brock Lesnar's beat the gorilla? I think
100?
100 Brock
Because
Lesnar.
all 100 would do. They would make a human.
I can't
they
believe
would,
I'm actually weighing in on
They would
this.
make a human dome, lift it up, and give him an F5. All 100 of them.
I think. I mean, if you're defining victory as 100 human beings to subdue the gorilla,
Or kill it.
nah, that's too
You
cool.
stab it in the
I
neck.
would.
It's
I
done.
think maybe 100 Lesnar's could do it.
100
I think
Lesnar's could
that
definitely do it.
100 Lesnar's has the best chance out
Yeah.
of anybody.
Yes.
Because all right, that was an interesting topic.
Maybe 50 Lesnar's
right.
and 50 gauges.
I want to send a quick shout out because you just
this guy.
you never know when you might come across somebody who actually listens to the show. So,
Small balls.
to the person at I'll give him the free plug. The person at Tallulah's Daily.
Oh,
Who as it turns
you
out
shop there a lot.
watches the show. Shout out to you.
Please sponsor us.
Keep watching. That was
Give me free
we heard that
cheese,
story
okay?
through their mother. that you enjoy the show, which is awesome. So shout out to you. Now,
Please
let's
sponsor
get
me.
to
I
some
want
topics.
free cheese. Okay.
Let's get and remember
Please
this when I'm
sponsor
looking
me.
for a cup of coffee or some cheese for these children. Now, let's get to some
I like my
topics.
cheese.
I like my
Okay.
cheese jerky, bro.
So let's follow up on something that was very hotly discussed last week, and that is the announcement from Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
Wow. I couldn't believe that you guys were correct
We
about what you said.
we were
Kind
sort of
of right.
half
No,
right.
we? No.
No, we
You
no,
never
no.
jump the goddamn
Yeah,
ship
you-
with this
It was-
motherfucker.
No, it was
Oh, I thought
nobody.
You said
Wait, no. All
You said
It
there's
was-
no possible way.
Well,
I want you to
wait,
play
but it's
that
not-
clip,
no,
please.
Play-
It wasn't. We were no. Stop. We were talking about. There's no way it is pro wrestling in the form that we all enjoy it and talk about on the show,
No,
and
you,
it is
you
not.
Said there's no way it's a company.
No.
No,
All right, no, I
Stop
said-
jumping the ship, okay?
I know. I said there was no way it was pro wrestling. I suspected that they were working.
Sure,
So
buddy,
it is something.
sure.
It is something real. It is not pro wrestling, as I said.
it is
He's
not.
jumping the ship.
But
We were
it is
two-thirds
something
right,
real.
technically.
Not really. But here's the thing.
And you
All
were
right.
0% right. You cannot talk, okay?
No.
You
I
thought,
said
no way it's
I
gonna
said
be a company, brother.
I said they were working, but I also said if
No,
it is
you
any
didn't.
I also no I did. Go back and listen. I said if it is anything, it is definitely not pro wrestling and that Vince was going to have nothing to do with it. So you all were insisting that Vince was going to be involved,
Yeah, he can't-
and it's
You
not
guys
even
did,
pro wrestling.
and
But
you were insisting that.
yeah, you
Vince was
insisted
doing it.
over and over again that it was going to be a pro wrestling company with Brock Lesnar and Vince.
And
Okay.
you're 2/3
And
right.
Gunky. And Gunky.
Here's the thing, and Gunky. But here's the thing. Okay.
Lesnar, Gunky, and Braun Strowman. That's all you need.
I can't believe we're going to talk about this person as much as we are today. But what I find to be so
Apropos.
ridiculous about this is that the commissioner of this
And the third man.
No, let me finish. That the commissioner of this professional, we'll call it a league or promotion,
Yeah, I don't
of
really still know
amateur
what it is.
freestyle wrestling is, do you know who?
Izzy Martinez?
Hulk Hogan. So how long is it going to be
He said
until
the black people
until
show up and they're
Hulky
like,
is telling people how he was a state wrestling champion in high school in Florida and was recruited to the University of Iowa by Dan Gable, but he didn't want to leave Iowa because it's too cold, brother.
Also,
Can
what
you
happens if-
imagine
what happens if there's a race?
Hulk Hogan?
Wait, I have also another question. What if they're in the locker room and there's a wrestler who's not white? What do you think his reaction is going to be?
Oh,
to
we're
that?
going to get to that in a minute.
Look.
Oh, I got it. Believe it or not, Terry's a topic of a lot of discussion today.
Who's this, brother?
Wait, today specifically,
Oh,
I was
got
about
more.
to bring that up.
I got more.
Today.
I got more about Terry, but just like
Terry
I
said a
read
lot of
that,
stuff.
and I was just like,
We're going to talk about.
this is
Also,
They
Also-
named him as the commissioner.
Also, hold on.
As
Is
I'm gonna
there
quote.
actual one for an amateur wrestling promotion? Like, does anyone actually want to watch amateur wrestling?
yeah, if you
maybe?
want to watch amateur wrestling, watch MMA.
Well,
it's
right.
more
Well,
violent
that's
and
the
it's
thing.
funner.
That's the thing. I was thinking about this too.
No one actually wants
Also,
this.
another question.
Also,
What's the third man's name? Izzy Martinez?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who the hell is
No, he's
that?
a real guy. I mean, look, that part of this is that guy's legit
He
in
trained
that
UFC
world.
fighters.
But here's
He's
the
like
thing.
a generally
and you-
professional one here.
And Max, you touched on it because I was thinking about this. Okay. I think I've probably mentioned this in some form or another on the show, but I am a proud alumnus of Penn State University, which has,
Bet
you
you
know,
are.
a dominant
Wrestling.
amateur wrestling program. What Cale Sanderson has done there is incredible.
who the
So,
hell's Cale Anderson?
Cale
like the
Sanderson,
guy.
he's the coach of the wrestling
Yeah.
team.
Cale Anderson?
Sanderson.
Carl
Anderson.
So, like,
Carl
when
Anderson.
Penn State's on,
Carl, ooh.
knowing how good they are and that I like to watch Penn State sports, I will watch because I have a rooting interest. But as I don't
It's
know,
boring.
I don't know as a
boring as hell.
spectator televised sport where you don't really have much of a rooting interest. I don't know. I agree with you. Like, I don't know that there's much of an audience
boring
for
as
this.
hell.
Is there even going to be heels and baby faces?
Yeah,
like-
they're gonna be like cutting promos.
Yeah,
Is
like,
it gonna be like
yeah, I
is there
just-
belts? Is it like
Yeah, I don't know.
You held me down on the mat, brother.
I don't
Legal
know.
roll up. Legal roll up, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this, but I mean, I don't know. I read somewhere they have some like unnamed streaming
Is
deals.
it gonna be ref bumps?
Yeah, like you said, like
Oh, you bumped
And
out
this
the
is-
ref.
again,
Oh, no. Oh,
those
the
guys are
ref's not
unbelievable
counting.
athletes. But like you said, MMA, which is very popular, incorporates elements of amateur wrestling, but they also punch and kick each other,
Which is better.
which is going to be more entertaining. So I don't know. But I have a related story because Hulky was out doing some interviews.
Oh, of course.
Fox and
God.
Friends.
So what
To-
racist thing did he say this
Oh,
time?
to talk about
The new
he
promotion.
was on with the scumbag Pat McAfee,
Oh,
and he was on, I think it's like a TMZ live.
I thought it was also.
what the hell
And,
is TMZ?
and he
It's
was
it's like a three. It's like talks about celebrities a lot.
yeah, it's like a celebrity gossip type of thing.
It's like.
but he was
there's a
talking-
big thing.
He was talking about accomplished amateur wrestlers who have made the transition to be also accomplished pro wrestlers.
Chad
and he,
Gable,
and he
Kurt
mentioned three
Angle.
names. He mentioned Brock Lesnar.
Yes,
He mentioned Kurt Angle.
obviously.
And he also mentioned, and I quote, Benjamin Shelton.
Do you mean Shel Benjamin?
He said Benjamin Shelton on both interviews.
Yeah.
So guess who was not real happy about this?
Shelton.
Shelton Benjamin,
Benjamin Shelton.
who went on his Twitter and said he had some other things to say, but the conclusion was a meme that I will clean up for this.
Yeah.
Keep my name out your blank mouth.
It was Will Smith.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
it was thank you. It was a Will Smith
Oh,
thing.
we talked about his wife in the next
he
G.I. Jane.
actually he did it not once but twice.
Well, I feel like when he gets to that age, he
Can you
becomes senile.
so you know
And like, can we put some respect on Chad Gable? Like,
yeah, Chad Gable too.
How about Bobby Lashley?
Bob?
Wasn't he
Oh, yeah,
in
there's
wrestling
more.
in the
There's
Olympics and
more.
He got shot in the leg.
There's more. There's more. Gable and Bobby Lashley being two
Yeah.
of them.
He got
But
shot in the leg.
he
He got
said
grazed in the leg and he couldn't wrestle.
he said Benjamin Shelton
Oh.
twice.
Benjamin.
Maybe
Shelton.
where was somebody to tell him? The funny thing is, as I was preparing for the show this afternoon, I thought to myself, I don't know who the Geek of the Week is going to be this week. Not anymore. It's you, Terry. Got his name wrong
Terry.
twice. But wait, I'm not even
Oh
done.
God, no.
Oh God, what do you say this time?
So,
now?
are you guys aware?
The 400
'Cause
days?
I was not.
We all know about those 400
That,
matches, brother.
that there is some sort of
365
internet
days.
thing now with people putting memes out there with Becky Lynch, like looking like Hogan, calling her Becky Hogan.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
This
now.
is like a thing now.
Yeah,
Are
it's
you
a
aware
thing.
of this?
It's a thing.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
I was not either.
I guess I'm off the wrestling memes.
But this is a thing. So last
Here's the
night,
thing.
I gather that there is a post-game show after Raw.
Yeah, there is.
And on this thing last night, they interviewed Becky.
I bet Becky loved that.
So Becky, again, was on this Raw post-game show talking about this, and she said, these people
do the
go
Irish-
around...
we gotta do the Irish
I'm
accent.
not. These people going around comparing me to the scummiest person on earth.
No, that's MJF.
So...
No.
It's a little bit of a rough...
He's our scumbag.
It's a little bit of a rough go for Terry. But can anybody explain, like, why anybody is comparing Becky Lynch to Hulk Hogan? Like, I don't see it. Do you have any
No,
insight
I
on this, Roman? Because I was totally unaware of this until I saw it on the Observer site this morning.
I think just because, like, you know, she's like coming back and she's going right back into the main event. And,
Yeah,
like,
but she's Becky Lynch.
I
She's a
agree.
big
That's
star.
one
She's
thing
still in
Hogan
her
never
prime.
had. Talent.
Yeah, I'm not really a.
Best
I don't really
charisma.
see it.
I don't get it. So, a little bit of a rough go for Terry today. The scummiest person. All right. Next.
Hogan. Next thing.
They're all getting
So,
canceled.
as they seem to do every year after WrestleMania, WWE has let...
Well, first I said this. Wait, first.
Go ahead.
Nick Khan had the audacity to say in the interview. Didn't he say, like, they don't keep anybody on the bench? Didn't Nick Khan say that?
I didn't see that.
I heard that somewhere.
They got a
Didn't
deep...
keep anybody on the bench.
Oh, their bench is deep. Are you kidding me? Look at all the people they have under contract in some form or another.
And then look at this.
Yeah.
And they don't make goddamn cuts.
They
look at
yeah.
this.
Oh, they make cuts. They make cuts They make
No, but
cuts
don't, like, big
after
cuts, they
WrestleMania
say.
every year. They always do this. So
Yeah.
as we do, let's go over the more prominent names. You can assume the role of Tony Khan, and would you be interested in any of the following? You ready?
Yes.
Gigi Dolan.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Sam.
Sure.
She has to be in a group, though. That's the problem. Like,
Well-
she can't be a standalone.
Well, you know they have groups. You talk. Yeah.
What? Yeah, too many. But that's a different problem
All
with
right.
me.
So people seem kind of ambivalent.
And she could go to TNA or like
TNA, yeah, that might be a good play for her.
MLW or like
Right.
Maple or
Yeah, that TNA. yeah.
American
Some of these
Freestyle.
people- yeah,
All
American.
American
All right.
Freestyle.
Cora Jade.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
There could be some interest in
I
Cora
agree.
Jade.
No, but didn't she like go on Twitter and say something about like the end they were body shaming her?
She said something like that. I think she also made some
Something,
kind of sort of illusion on her social media today about OnlyFans.
Oh God.
I mean, look,
Roman.
all you got to do is, hey, look. It was reported that Mandy Rose made a ton of money on,
yeah.
probably made more there than she ever made in WWE. So I can't blame her if that's the way she's going.
Mandy Rose, but she actually had talent.
Shotzi Blackheart.
Yes.
No.
Really? You think you're
Shotzi?
Really?
Yeah, I think she's
Interesting.
horrible.
She's good at something.
Shotzi.
What?
She'll be useful at
Yeah, I don't see it.
pushing over.
No.
I
She'll
don't
be
see
good
it.
at pushing over
Hell
talent.
no. We didn't need Shotzi.
Katana Chance.
Who?
Who?
Oh, she was in NXT.
Yes.
They were a tag team, the two of them. They had like one run with the belt.
Oh yeah, I like them. They're good. They
All right.
need a women's tag team. Good.
Let's get to the bigger. There's the bigger names. Dakota Kai.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there could be some interest in Dakota Kai.
Her and who else? Well, her and like
Wait, isn't there like two other NXT like Osborne something?
Yeah, I didn't give all the NXT names because they were
No.
ones I didn't even recognize.
I know some of them.
Well, yeah, some of the people who are on the-
There were other-
Jakara Jackson.
Yeah,
I would
they
hire
were
her.
on the
Yeah,
list.
Jakar Jackson, she's great.
So you know
Yeah,
what? No, like most
Caden
all-
Carter was on the list.
Because Caden Carter and Katana Chance were the tag team. And then
Yeah.
certain people, though, like the people that
Now,
are on
True
like,
Metaphor is gone, so it's like
well, yeah, but like Metaphor was like barely on, really.
what was
so
that
next.
for?
It was a
was
a
like
team
a-
of
They were like
Ryan
a-
Dar, Lash Legend,
Jakar Jackson.
and what's the other face? the
I
other
can't
guy?
remember.
So we know who's next. Noam Dar and Jakar Jackson.
Who the
The
hell
Lash
is-
Legend.
I think Dar's already been fired and brought back once.
I believe so.
Noam Dar's actually pretty good.
Yeah, no one
He's
does.
good
So,
at doing.
but
He's chill.
All right, is it? So, but it seems like it's a yes on Dakota Kai.
Yes.
yes, she's.
All right.
has some use.
Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
Yes.
I think.
MMA background.
I think
kicked
sort
some
of-
ass. Oh no. Never mind. That means that means the Death Rider storyline is going to
No,
keep going.
I think sort of maybe on a short-term
So
thing
no.
to bring her in to face off with Marina. I don't know if they're. I don't know if she's like long for that company, but they could do something with her.
Or how about
As
you
long as you
bring-
have this Death Riders thing going, you could do something with Baszler to face off with Marina.
Also, why don't you bring? Wait, if they're interested, why don't you bring like her? Why don't you bring Rhonda in for like a little thing? with-
Rhonda's at home with her
Baszler.
kids. So
Yeah.
yeah,
With
she's-
the Four Horsemen. of
Also, I
MMA.
think Shayna Baszler has skills in the ring, but like just could never
Story,
get over as like
promo.
a yeah. She could like never like
cut a
she-
promo to save her life.
yeah like she just couldn't like I feel like get to the next level.
Let's put
as
it
far
this
as,
way.
like, that.
Oh, I have a good storyline for her.
I actually had an
Yeah.
idea too, but go ahead.
What was your
It's
idea?
time.
No, you're Booker M. You go first.
My idea was that she could come in as a heel, but she would come in as a heel as Mercedes bodyguard instead of Camille.
You could use her that way. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And she doesn't have to talk. She goes in, beats
Yeah.
people up.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a
just
good
there,
idea.
Looks scary, beats people up.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to cut promo.
No, you're right.
She doesn't have to talk. She just goes in there, do what she does best, and then
Yeah.
goes back. And you can still have her go up against Marina, like
Yeah, no, to bring her in as replacing Camille, that's actually a good idea. I was
Yeah.
thinking like if they're gonna do Anarchy in the Arena, that
And you need a woman.
if they're not going to use Willow as the one that and it's probably going to be Willow as the one who comes out and sort of neutralizes Marina, you could bring Baszler out as a surprise and pop the crowd, but that would just be a one-off. But as a long-term thing, that's actually a really good idea.
True.
I just thought of
I
that.
hate
Last-
to be this person though. Does she pop the crowd?
Yes.
I would, as a one, people love surprises.
I guess it's true. It's
mean-
more of like a surprise than
Yeah.
actually being like
Right.
she's so good.
Yeah, as a-
I mean,
Let-
scratch that. I was gonna say Big Blue Magic can prop the crowd. That's
Yeah, that guy's an
I
international
scratch
superstar.
that.
That's true.
If he could prop the crowd, nobody
Yeah, but
else.
he's not going to be part of
I
Anarchy
was
in
on
the
that guy's
arena.
Instagram
You
live.
kidding
I
me?
was trying to get a
Oh
big.
yeah, we were trying to get big booms for him on his Instagram live. We
Oh
were
my.
telling you give Max a boom, give him a boom.
Yeah. Last name, last and least,
No.
Brawny the
No.
Strong
I'm
Man.
staying the hell away from that man.
No,
He talked about-
1,000 times
He
no.
talked about retirement, and God
Good.
bless
That's
him.
a great place for him. Retiring.
Listen,
Does he have
I'll
enough
give-
money
I'll
to
give-
retire though?
I'll give Braun Strowman some props. He was good at pushing over talent. He did it with Jacob Fatu. He did it with Braun Breaker. He was
Well, yeah,
good
he was great because he would be like,
at doing.
"Whoa, you beat this crazy big guy? Like you're probably pretty good at wrestling."
Right. Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah, also,
Okay.
But you just have to make sure he doesn't go on any social media platform ever.
Oh.
Why?
In case he's gonna say
Because
something
he said various things that are not smart.
flippy,
Really?
calling
Oh
high
yeah,
flying
there was that
wrestlers
thing he
flippy
said about
floppy.
making fun of people that are grinding out on the indies and trying to sell their merch. Look, he's the classic Vince McMahon hire. He was hired because
Yeah,
he's
that's
big,
so true.
never paid a single bit of dues in his whole wrestling career.
Yeah.
Vince saw him. He said it himself when he was making fun of guys that are actually good athletes and fly around the ring. He passes the airport test. So
Yeah.
that's why he was hired.
Also-
He's bad, but because he looks the way he does, he got hired.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Wait, about
but
these
but for
releases.
him, for a guy who was hired not because he's any good, but because to make fun of guys grinding out in the indies, and people were all over him for it, and he realized he messed up. But come on, man, don't give me that.
Is he dead?
Who? Oh, that guy? No, he's
wow, that's,
okay.
That's something.
Now,
Oh wait, I want to talk something. Props to Matt Cardona for that post.
oh yeah, totally.
He talked about what did he say? I forget. He talked
About how he's offering
like go on the
words
indies and go work. it.
offering words of encouragement for all those people that got let go. It's not the end.
Because that's what happened to him, basically.
Totally. There are people that
You know it.
there are any number of people that got. Look, it happened to Cody Rhodes.
I love
Yeah.
that.
He went out and he did indies and he went to Ring of Honor and he
joined the
totally
Bullet Club?
he totally rebuilt his career and look what happened.
Very
I've
fun.
had some things to say about him at various times. I mean, I still contend that after WrestleMania he's a geek loser.
Oh.
But he became he was a geek there, a Stardust, and now look what he did, and
Yeah.
he did that on his own.
that in
They
WrestleMania.
released Drew McIntyre. And he grinded it out on the indies, and they brought him back.
He fought
so
Joe Hendry
it can be done.
and lost. I'd like to everybody.
It can be done. This is so
I want everybody to
Cardona
remember that.
is an example of that, and he offered some words of encouragement for these people that
But
got
also,
released.
everybody can't be does what Matt Cardona does.
Well, no, but he
Of course not, but you
he
think
showed
that...
that it can be done.
Right, and you
It's
think
not
that
the end.
right after he was released from WWE, people were clamoring to get him to come work? You know what I mean? He probably had to, do any job. He had to do any
He had to
show.
go grind it out.
Yeah.
Wait,
And he
Now
did.
He's getting paid a crap ton of
Wait,
money
I saw
for
two things.
every independent.
Go
to
ahead.
change the subject, I saw two different things.
Why don't you
Go ahead,
want
brother.
Matt? All for the
I saw one thing,
block party.
and apparently, so there was
Talking to the microphone.
there was a guy on Instagram, and he asked Dave Meltzer, does he think, he posted on Instagram and tagged Dave Meltzer, this was a long time, well, not a long time ago, but he asked Dave Meltzer, do you think that Ring of Honor could sell out a stadium?
Oh no, I know this
Yeah.
story. Yeah,
And
no,
they
it was
said anytime soon.
it wasn't Ring of Honor. It was an independent
Yeah,
show.
promotion. Could they
This
sell
is how
out-
it all started.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know this. And they could,
yeah.
could they sell out
Like a 10,000 seat
yeah.
arena.
And Dave said 9 times soon, and Cody saw that, and that led to the creation of AEW.
Yes.
And
That first
that's
show
another
was
thing.
Cody and the Young Bucks heard that,
Yeah.
and they're like, "We're going to do this," and they did that show in
And
Chicago.
It was the thought of a War Games match
Wait,
between.
who's doing a War Games match?
It was the idea of a War Games match
Okay.
between Zayn. I mean, not Zayn. What is it? Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Solo Sikoa,
They're bringing in. Oh, okay.
Solo Sikoa, not Jacob Fatu. What's his name? Tonga Loa and Tom Tonga.
He's great.
versus Roman, Punk, Zayn, and Usos.
All right. I mean, they can do whatever they want. But I think we're a ways away. First, they got to do the tag match, where it's going to be Rollins and Steiner against
No, we
Punk
almost
and
going
Roman.
Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman for.
Also, isn't it just Paul Heyman got a lot more tan? Like, Jesus.
He does kind of look
All right, let's.
Like, he was, like, there was a problem with him and the Usos, and I was like, they're the same skin tone. God.
Yeah, he's definitely getting tan.
Also, he
Alright.
made it well. He made
Let-
the Usos feel
Let's
bad. That was crazy.
let's move
Did
to
you
some.
see the
All right,
promo?
let's move to some
It
AEW
was
topics.
sad.
AEW topics. Before we even get into Dynamite, I got two things. First, obviously, we're all very excited because of the big announcement about the residency.
Also, but goddamn it, why did SVW have to close then? Right
All
there.
right, no,
You had a
no,
month.
Okay,
You just
okay,
goddamn
no,
it.
sorry.
They're gonna
no,
be there for
we're no,
3 weeks.
No,
3
it's
weeks.
Okay, we're not.
And goddamn-
right, but look, that's I know, but it's still happening.
That was like a honey trap.
That's still happening
for those,
in
all
August
those
and
AEW
September.
wrestlers.
But here's the thing. Now, I haven't. Maybe you can shed some light on this, Roman, because I haven't been in that building since ECW.
Yeah.
So I don't
Give us
know
some
what
tickets
it's
to
like there. But
AEW.
here is my plea to Tony Khan.
Give us some goddamn tickets.
No,
Oh, beat your ass.
what? Please.
What? Oh, 20 Khan's
Obviously, we would like to go to at least one. I want to see Dynamite.
I wanna go to all
But
seven.
my concern is.
I want to go to all 7.
My
so give me the
concern
tickets.
is.
Come on. Do it. Do it, Tony.
They need to have some sort
Do
of
it.
bleacher type setup in that building because Tony, listen, these children looking into the camera, guys, look sad. If it's
Well, that's
just
perfect.
folding chairs on a concrete floor, they're not going to be able to see.
I could see them
I'm
in the...
not even out of frame.
So
Look
I
at
don't
me.
know. I don't know what they're going to do, but these children want to see these shows. And I want to bring them, but I don't want to bring them not to be able to see what's going on.
I need to talk
Please,
to
Tony.
Tony.
Bleachers or something so they can see. And we will be there. And we will talk about it on this show.
I'm 4'4". I'm not even out of frame when I stand up.
Yeah, please.
Tony. I can't see.
Please.
Let's have
Okay.
one of them.
So that's still exciting news.
That's not the ideal situation.
Yeah.
Speaking of exciting news, we saw proof that Darby Allin is still alive.
Yay.
It was on
He's not dead yet.
on his social media. They showed a video of him doing a kickflip on a skateboard at 21,000 feet from one of the
World
base
record.
camps. I actually looked this up. They only, they have another 8,000 feet of height to go
Yeah.
to reach the summit of Everest. So he's getting close. But that actually Suplex reposted that video. It's wild. I mean,
Also-
you can, they are close enough that you can, the summit of Everest is not that far away.
Also-
So he's getting there.
Speaking of Orlando, Chris, still waiting for them keys. Send it over or my cash. I'm still waiting. You know I won that bet, Roman.
All right,
You know I won that bet, Chris.
Let's-
send me my keys.
Let's talk about Dynamite. So the show opened
Spicy.
8-man. It was Omega, Briscoe, Speedball, and Kevin Knight, now known as Jet Speed,
Bad name.
against
Kevin Knight's known as Jet Speed.
no
Jet
Knight
Speed is
and
a-
Speedball as a team are now known as Jet Speed.
Is that
That is
better or worse
Jet
than
Speed
the
is a bad
Paragon?
name.
Oh, better.
I
Totally
don't
better.
like it.
Against the Young Bucks, Ricochet, and Okada. It was a fun match. They gave them a lot of time. They went through 2 commercial breaks.
much time.
We did finally get a little bit of a face-off between Omega and Okada towards the end, before Okada ended up pinning Mark Briscoe with the Rainmaker. This was good.
No, this was really good. You made Okada look really good.
Yeah, Okada
You
got a
made
clean pin.
Speedball look amazing with that death
Oh
kick
my
to
god!
the face.
Oh yeah! At one point
Oh
he
my
kicked.
God,
It looked like at one point
he
it looked
would've
like
knocked his teeth
yeah. Was it
out.
Okada?
Yeah.
At one point it looked like Speedball kicked Okada right
First
in
he
his
broke
grill.
his finger, now he broke
Yeah, this
all
was
his
good.
teeth. Oh my god, he kicked him right here. Oh.
Yeah.
That
Now-
that looks like we're gonna hurt tomorrow. So.
Good now.
I'll say this.
Good news.
He made Mark Briscoe look really good.
Yeah, no, this
Mark
was good.
Briscoe looked great
This
in
was
that
good.
match.
Good news and bad news for you guys.
Bad news?
The good news is you got to see Nicky Boy.
Yeah.
Nick Camarado
go.
is still around.
With his
The
boas
bad-
and lollipops.
The bad
Boas
news
and
is
lollipops galore.
the bad news is it was him, Rhett Titus, who I still forgot was around,
Titus?
and someone named Miles Hawkins against the Ops. So we all know how that went.
Not the op.
Miles Hawkins.
Yeah. So after the match, you had the Death Riders run in. Joe and Moxley brawled up the ramp. Joe got Moxley in the coquina clutch again.
Third time.
But meanwhile, in the ring, Claudio gave Shibata the neutralizer onto the sort of open end side of a chair before Joe runs back in and clears the ring.
No, the way Joe says John is great.
Joe then makes the challenge, and Tony Khan made the match. At Beach Break, not only is it going to be Joe versus Moxley for the title, it will take place inside a steel cage. That is a big match on free television. Thank you, Tony Khan.
God bless America.
You had Tony Storm against Miyu Yamashita, which was also a good match.
I do not agree with anything this man said.
After the match, Mercedes comes out, which I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this was the first interaction since she came to AEW between Mercedes and Tony,
Yes, it is.
where Mercedes proceeds to say how she's going to beat Jamie Hayter, win the Owen Hart Cup, and then she's coming for the world title.
Or you, Tony, could beat that. If that does happen, you could have
Into the microphone.
championships.
Well, again,
You can become the double champ.
I think-
Oh wow.
I think that's where I think that's likely where they're going. But before then, Jamie Hayter disagreed with this. She came out. She ran off. She ran off Mercedes. Now, what was particularly notable about this was that after this altercation, they played Jamie Hayter's music. They go back to the ring. Tony Storm does what I would generously describe as some sort of dance.
You want
That at one point I believe involved her laying on the mat and going into some sort of convulsion.
I feel like I need to demonstrate
No,
this now.
you're not. The camera's not going to see you.
Demonstrate.
Lower
Sam.
down the camera.
Just
Wait, if-
that woman.
Can I see
That woman's amazing. This was
Can we see?
this was
Nice.
this was unbelievable.
It was something.
It was truly something. We had another vote meeting with the Hurt Syndicate.
God damn it.
This time,
People.
MVP put his thumb up. Benjamin Shelton put his thumb up.
Shelton.
Bob teased it for a little while, but was still a no.
This is still a bummer to me.
This upset Sam's hero.
Obviously, I mean,
I'm
like,
going to clean this
when
up.
when
He started.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
MJF has shown Bobby nothing but respect and
Until
been
he didn't.
cordial. And then he like the car. He did everything he should have done. But Bobby, being the prude that he is, had to say
Excuse
no,
me?
a prude. You heard me.
No, you can't. Yeah,
Exactly.
stop.
Exactly.
Stop.
Is that edited out? Is that edited out?
No, but don't use that word. He'll come bursting through
Okay.
that door and
Yeah,
destroy
it's
you.
true. He will.
Rube. Is that better? What is better here?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Oh, he's a rube.
Maybe you weren't talking in the
He's
microphone.
A rube. Is that edited too?
Well,
yes.
Like,
I don't know what you're trying to say, but just finish your thought.
he's not. He.
You
MJF
use
showed
words
nothing
and I
but
don't know
respect.
that it's like Princess Bride. That word I don't think it means what you think it means. But go ahead. So you're upset at Bob because he won't give the thumbs
yeah,
up.
I mean, like, God, it's like I already talked about the social justice movement.
Yeah, the civil
Yeah,
rights
the civil
movement.
rights
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brain is not great today. Ooh.
Oh, I can tell. Trust me.
Well, you know, we've had a very
Uh,
we've had a few days of a lot of work.
okay.
So, you know,
the
we
civil
understand.
rights movement, and but Bobby's not, Bobby doesn't want to bring back the civil rights movement too.
He just doesn't like your hero. And then
Who doesn't?
No.
He's their scumbag.
your hero.
What's his name? What is his name? What does MJF call him?
Montel.
Montel. He keeps saying, "Give him what I want," and he keeps like, he's not actually being MJF. He's being the. How do I describe it? He's being the kind version of MJF. They want actual MJF, the MJF that hurts people.
Well, that's what we're going to get to because after Bob gave his thumbs down, Friedman then begins to ask Bob what he actually wants, and then I'm going to quote him. I'll clean it up. Maybe some Rogaine, you big bald.
What's Rogaine?
This made Bob
Wait, what's
angry.
Rogaine?
It's a thing you put on your scalp to grow hair.
Oh,
A lot of people know that. Me and Max are the only people
Bob-
in that room who don't need that.
Bob then bullies Friedman into
that's
the
by
corner.
he just has a very thin buzz cut.
That's my
Yeah.
choice.
Bob bullies
so
Friedman
sorry.
into the corner and is about to kill him to death.
I like the buzz cut.
Friedman is screaming out to Montel for help. And Bob then proceeds to explain to Friedman that if Friedman wants to impress him, he needs to go hurt somebody. So he did not kill Friedman to death. So presumably now Friedman is going to have to hurt somebody to finally get that third thumbs up.
So who
and
is
actually,
it?
there's going to be some unfortunate victim. I don't know who it's going to
Please not
be.
Nick
true.
Camarado. Please not be Nick Camarado.
I don't think it's going to be Nicky Boy.
Be AJ Bufumbo.
The-
Be AJ Bufumbo. We need the match. We need the AJ Bufumbo
You want
match.
it to be I don't know. I would think it's it's gonna be. I don't know if it's
We
gonna be
need
AJ
them to
Bufumbo.
bring the boom.
That match still might happen someday.
We bring the boom.
The main event I thought was actually really good. In the Owen Hart semifinal between Hangman and Kyle Fletcher.
It was long.
It was
too.
long. They gave him plenty of time. This was really very good. Fletcher took a nasty bump into the boards and cut his back up really bad, but he kept going. Hangman beat him. He did sort of like a buckshot off the turnbuckle where he did a flip and clothesline him. Then he went outside the ring, gave him the buckshot and pinned him. So at Double or Nothing, it's going to be Hangman against Ospreay. This was great. So over.
Is that the main event?
That was the main event. So overall, a pretty good episode of Dynamite. With two good. Actually, no, there were three good. The women's match was good, and then the 8-man was fun, and the main event was good. So overall, I would say a success. Anything else before we wrap it up? No. Well, again, thank you, producer Roman. It's quite nice here in the home studio. I think this will work just fine for us.
Thank you.
Thank you, John, for joining us once again. And thank you all for joining us for episode 50. And we will see you next week with another episode of Grappling with the Gilmans. That's a wrap.
Peace.